told me essentially I was holding back, right? Here's what I learned very early in life and my career. If you're not willing to make a fool out of yourself for something, you'll never have an extraordinary life. If you're not willing to make a fool out of yourself for something, you will never have an extraordinary life. I started broadcasting when I was in college. I knew I was going to be an amazing on-air personality. But I was also afraid to be an extraordinary personality. And I remember auditioning for some television stuff, and I remember one of my first things I got to do was to interview Barbara Jordan. Anybody know who Barbara Jordan is? You know, if that's the first out of the gate, you got to interview Barbara Jordan? Wow. And Barbara Jordan, we used to call her BJ. She actually used to watch us play basketball at the University of Texas at Austin. Any Longhorns in the house? Hook 'em! Okay. So, I have to do that occasionally. So, I interviewed Barbara Jordan. And I remember I was so nervous, my first television interview. And I kept saying, BJ, I'm just really nervous, really nervous. But I did the interview, and she said, and I quote, "You were magnificent." Y'all know how Barbara Jordan talks, right? "You were magnificent." And I was like, well, hey, BJ was like, I was magnificent. So that gave me the confidence to really pursue what I wanted. But here's the thing. How many of you have thought, man, I wish I could really do something, but then you think, but I probably can't do it. I probably can't get it. Anybody else ever felt that way, right? I probably can really do this, but nah, people like me don't do this. People like me don't do this, whether it's age or race or whatever it is. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is really how to build, no matter what industry you're in, how to take it to a multi-million-dollar business fast. How many of you have gotten stuff going so fast for you and it's going really well and it scared you? Has that ever happened to anybody? Right? I have that experience even to this day. Stuff is going just as I wanted, and I thought, oh, that's really too good. Anybody else ever felt that way? All right? So we're going to talk about how to build a multi-million-dollar business. The first thing I got to ask you, the reason I started this by saying, who wants to be a multi-millionaire? Everybody wants to be a multi-millionaire. Yes? Then you move to the level of who is committed to being a multi-millionaire. Because when you commit to it, you got to do something with it, right? I'm committed to working out. Commitment for you for working out may be 5 times a week. For me, it's 3 times a week. That's my commitment. I'm committed to doing it. But when something is a necessity, that means you cannot function, you will not live, it will not work for you unless you get it. Yes? Food, air, right? Cheetos for some of y'all, right? You gotta have it. If crunchy, right? Flame flavored Cheetos. But the reality is, if wealth is not a necessity for you, you will never be wealthy. You will never be wealthy. If you just want it, you make a little money. But unless it's a necessity for you, you will never be wealthy. There was a time when I was in college, I was working for Procter & Gamble, the only job I've ever had. I made $32,000, I was 25 years old. I thought that was a lot of money. Anybody ever think $32,000 was a lot of money? That was a lot of money. Had a company car, had a 6-figure package. Oh, it was great. And as long as I was okay with making $32,000, guess how much money I made? $32,000. My point is this, whatever you're making right now, whatever your financial reality is right now, is exactly what you want to make. And when it's no longer okay for you to make just $32,000 or $60,000 or $180,000, you will make more money. It became a necessity for me to make more money. Not because I had bills to pay, but because the $32,000 level started to